Hi VC, this is Kostis, and this will be a not very entertaining video. It will be also very different from what I usually upload, because this is a video that is all about the tragic accident / crime that happened last Tuesday in Greece. A tragic train accident in the main railway that connects Athens and Thessaloniki. Two trains collided with each other, and over 55, maybe more, I've lost count, people lost their lives because of that. Mostly young people. And there are many things that need to be addressed. Many things that need to be said, and the word should spread out, because the Greek government, the mainstream media, and the companies running and managing the railways are trying to build a certain narrative that it was all because of a human mistake, one person's mistake, which is totally ridiculous. So I really feel the need to address the whole situation. Let me just say that if you're not into political rumblings and political rants, and just want to be entertained, just skip this video altogether. It will also most probably contain some foul language. I will also be going off on tangents, most probably. Sorry for, no, actually, fuck that. No, I'm not sorry for making this video. Even though music is the most important thing for me as an individual, and uploading videos in the VC is entertaining, and I do this for fun. I can't really ignore the fact that I'm also a person living in a society together with other people, and there are some stuff much more important than music and what I personally like as an individual. Just skip this if you are not into this kind of serious talk. I'm not judging anybody for not wanting to see a video that's all about sad stuff and pretty angry stuff, and of course, but I just have to make this one, and then I'll hopefully I'll continue making the usual videos, proper VC videos. But I will also show 3 records at the end, because I'd like this to be a thread to anyone who wants to, spread the word and take part in this. I will show 3 records, just 3 categories, but I will talk about that at the end. So yeah, what happened was that the 2 trains collided because there was no safety infrastructure at all working. I mean, and when I'm talking about safety infrastructure, I'm talking about telematic systems that can pinpoint the locations of the trains at every time, continuously. Something like, GPS that we all have in our phones, right? I mean, you can order something to eat from off the internet, and you can actually see the delivery person, how he is, moving, at what time he will be there. You can see it with your phones. But no, they didn't have that in the railway network in Greece. I mean, just imagine that anyone could be in that train. It was just an accident waiting to happen. It's a crime, actually. So there weren't any telematic systems, and the whole thing, all these years, it turns out it was mostly coordinated by actual persons. I mean, the station managers with communicating through radios with train drivers. It's like, in this day and age, they didn't have a fail-safe like that. So what happened was a mistake by the station manager happened. Yeah. For whatever reason, I mean, we all may make mistakes. And the 2 trains moved onto the same track, and they just collided, and 57 people lost their lives. Now, how's that? It makes you think how many times you got the train. I mean, yeah. We have a word in Greek. It's called tragelaphos. It's like, I don't know if there is an English word for that. It's like being tragic and ridiculous at the same time. Yeah. And how all this came about? Well, actually, the railway network started to be privatized in 2017 by the previous government, who is also responsible for this. But I will make a distinction right here, not to let anyone off the hook, but because the current government and the way this whole thing is unfolding right now, it's beyond belief. It's utterly disgusting. And the current government is really trying to cover this whole thing up. I mean, the Prime Minister of Greece, he got on the spot of the accident, and he just plainly stated, okay, it's all because of a human mistake, but we will investigate for the we will really investigate further. I mean, how can you say that it's a human mistake, a mistake of just one person, before you even investigate it? Well, it's just, you just want to minimize the fallout from the beginning. That's why you say this. Yeah. And I was talking, sorry about that. I was talking about the privatization. So even before the privatization started, the Greek governments from years before and up until this point, they were given huge amounts of money to upgrade the railways in Greece, which actually are the worst railways in Europe. I'm sure everybody who has been in Greece and traveled by train can attest to that. But the thing is that we didn't really know that there was a complete lack of safety infrastructure. So these huge amounts of money were never spent towards upgrading the railways, especially after the privatization started, because of course the companies that the private companies that took up the management, of course they wanted to cut costs. Here's capitalism for you. And with no regard whatsoever about the safety of the people or the passengers or the people working in the trains and the railways. This upgrade was never actually completed. Maybe it was completed in some parts, but anyway, in this particular, the main railway, it wasn't working or it stopped working. We don't know yet. But that's why this whole thing happened. It's not because the station manager made a mistake. I mean, in my line of work, and I was actually discussing this with my co-workers yesterday, when something is not working properly, you have to really investigate. We call this root cause analysis, to really understand why the thing is not working. I mean, because I'm whatever. My work is auditing quality systems, stuff like that. Doesn't matter. But if somebody comes and tells me that such an excuse that it's one person's fault or something, it's just laughable. I mean, you have a whole system supposed to be working. And if one person makes a mistake, does that mean that the whole system collapses? it defies logic. It defies logic. So yeah, anyway, so many people died because there was not even a hint of safety infrastructures and telematic systems. And of course, a person made a mistake. Okay. But yeah, the government, together with their lackeys are the mainstream media. They're trying to convince everybody and push the narrative that it's all this person's fault. And you can't imagine what we're seeing on live TV in Greece these days. The journalists, they're saying things like, okay, this was maybe a sacrifice that had to happen, because if you think about it, other times that accidents have happened, they pushed, they pushed us like it's, they're talking about us, the common people, that it's all our fault or something, that we're in this all together. So it pushed us, to make changes and be better. So the people did not die in vain. And this is what we're watching on live TV from journalists, that the only thing they do is spew propaganda, far-right, ultra neoliberalist propaganda that comes directly from the government and the economic elite and the corporate companies. Because this government is, it's so corrupted. You can't imagine how corrupted these fucking subhuman pieces of shit are. I could go on and on about the scandals from the last 4 years about this government. About the freedom of the press, that is not existent in Greek. Actually, the European Union has made so many has put Greece on trial about in the European they have made many warnings about the state of journalism in Greece, and there are trials about this in the European Court. That was the word I was searching for. The journalists are trying. There are some journalists that that after the fact, but they have the slightest bit of dignity even now after the fact, that try to ask the important questions. I don't know if they do it just because they understand that it's totally ridiculous, or they actually only now have realized that the way to cover the news is not like that. But some of them are trying to, make an attempt of, not sound that ridiculous, and the co-worker in the panel right next to him, you could see him on live TV, he goes like, stop. Or the anchormen, when they have panels with people that are working in the railways, or from people that were in the accident and survive, and they're, telling their view of the story. They're trying to cut them off, and they're always looking in their cell phones when something, out of the narrative they want to push is being heard. They're looking at their phones. You can see them looking at their phones like they're receiving instructions right then and there about how to manage this. This can't be heard on TV. I mean, you have to. I wish that you could, speak Greek and just see it. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody can, to some point, to a certain extent, identify with, how the media works in these kind of situations. But right now, here in Greece, it's, it has really, it has been blown out of proportion. It's just ridiculous. I mean, so yeah, and another thing that also has to do with the media. All this time, the people working at the railway stations, they put out press releases. They went on the demonstrations about the lack of safety measures of the railways. All this was not covered by the mainstream media. It was ignored. Of course, they sent out letters to the government. They were also ignored. I mean, even 2 weeks before the accident happened, there was a letter and press release about how bad the safety measures in the railway network are by the people working there. Nobody cared. And let's get back to the government. How do they respond and try to manage the whole situation? Because you also have to know that there is an upcoming election in Greece. Or they just say, we will enter a 3-day period of national mourning, and what you should do, you should turn off the lights in memory of the persons that are dead, and ridiculous stuff like that. People, of course, are demonstrating out on the streets, and what's the reaction of the far right government? That of course, the reaction of a far right government that also has 3 Nazi apologist ministers is police repression. I mean, yesterday here in my hometown, in Thessaloniki, there was a big demonstration. A large part of the demonstration were students of the University of Thessaloniki that went out on the streets because 9 or 10 co-students that were studying in the university were victims of the accident. And what did the police do? Of course, with they did it because the government ordered to do this. They just tried to break up the demonstration. They threw flash bombs and sound bombs. I don't know if this is the correct word. Sound bombs, flash bombs that make, lots of noise as well. They threw tear gas in Athens, and also threw tear gas in Larissa. Larissa is the place that is closest to the railway station that the accident happened yesterday. The government just wants this to be handled as quiet as possible to avoid, the fallout. They said like it's a big thing or something, that the funerals of the people that have died, they will be, the expenses will be covered by the state. Actually, fuck that, not by the state. Why? Maybe by the companies that run the station. Why by the state? Why by us? What has the average common person and citizen has to do with all of this? The average citizen person could be a victim, actually. It's luck that I wasn't on that train, or anybody else that wasn't. Just pure luck. So yeah, this is very bad. This is disgusting. Did I mention that they have made a committee to investigate, but the persons in the committee are actually people that should be held accountable because they were part of the railway management. So they will investigate themselves. Oh, another thing, and the people working in the railway station, they went on strikes many times, but the Ministry of Transportation, together with the justice system, which is also corrupted and part of the whole economic elite government like junta or something. They went on strikes, but of course the ministry and the justice system, they always had their strikes be what's the word? Not unlawful, that no, there was no reason, and it's not it's prohibited to go on strike because I'm losing my words right now, but anyway, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Pretty fucked up stuff in Greece. And so if you want to spread the word, and I will try to leave at least a link from media coverage, not from Greece or from a media outlet that it's not like, corrupted and pushing the government's narrative. I will try to leave a link when you can read more about this. And if you want to spread the word, this is the part where I show the records. The first one is show a record that has to do with a railway or a train. This is of course for in remembrance of the people that have died. I'm going with the Pogues' first album, Red Roses for You. On the B-side there is Poor Paddy. It's an Irish song from the 1800s, I think, that was carried over to the US. So it's both an American and Irish folk song. And the Pogues make a very nice version of it. And the next one is something about our government and the upcoming elections, to kick them out. So I'm going with the Newtown Neurotics and this compilation, which has the single Kick Out the Tories. Of course, it's a direct comparison by the direct comparison of the 80s Thatcherism and the current Greek government, only that the current Greek government is of course way worse than Thatcherism ever was, in my opinion. And the last one is show some anti-establishment record or song, whatever, in general. And I will go with this split EP. It's a split EP from the 80s, two Greek bands, punk bands, Γενιά Του Χάους, Chaos Generation, and Αδιέξοδο, Dead End. So on the Γενιά Του Χάους side, there's a song that's called Bastardocracy. And the chorus goes, it's no democracy, it's no freedom, it's just a bastardocracy. And yeah, the lyrics go on and say stuff like how they're controlling you, they're telling you lies, propaganda, they're poisoning you, yeah, they ruin you. And yeah, of course you don't have to show anything or even every three of the categories, yeah, because maybe you can disagree with whatever. But yeah, feel free to jump in if you like. And yeah, that was all. It was quite long. Anyway, see you in the next one. Hopefully it will be, a proper VC video. Thanks for watching.